need this year to develop a plan, teacher contracts next year, so I strongly would recommend that we would address that issue, and it is July 7th, 2008. Also, most important happening tonight is that a board president will be elected. In my opinion, Martha Ross deserves this position. We have had great leadership for the last 2 years, and when last year I was here at the meeting, it was publicly spoken that Martha, as vice president, would be an active vice president, be included in all meetings. And I, as well as others, am looking forward to that vote tonight. Hopefully negative comments made will be put aside, and that we do have a new board president with the leadership of each of you following and guiding her. I have always admired Martha Ross because she puts our children first, and she's always there asking honest questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Jerry Knapp, 922 West Wilshire Drive, Peoria. I draw your attention to the sign behind Dr. Lawrence up there. It says, every student, every day, school, Peoria Public Schools. And that mantra does not fit with what you've done in the last 2 months or the last 6 weeks. I have a math problem for you. Take 1.5 times 36. That's the hour and a half for 36 Wednesdays equals 54. Divide it by 6, and you come out with 9 days of out-of-school suspension. These students, 5,000 of them, will be suspended from school, from contact, for 9 days. That's a fact. That's a reality. And you should be aware of it. You should also be aware, Mr. Ross, that you have been the champion of the students. You are the only one left that has the opportunity to reverse this. You can introduce a motion, because you are in the affirmative by Robert's rules, that says that you want this changed. And with the second, you can get this done. I think it's very important. You've always been the champion of the student. And you are the last bastion to save this 9-day suspension for 5,000 students. I want you to consider that. I want you to think hard about that. Also, I gave you a red sheet tonight, and you probably have that before you. And these were contract items on H, that is the academy, the teacher academy. It would be very easy to get the staff development after school with the teachers, with the kids in school full time, period. The teachers, that would take some interim bargaining, but that's already been done with 7 pages in the manual situation that I showed you last week. The last part of this, at the bottom of the page, is about student achievement. And the district insisted on this last March that this be put in. Read this carefully. This does not say anything about shortening the day. It says that the teachers may be called together to lengthen the day, modify the schedule, and 2 other points. The modifying the schedule means move it up or move back. Never, ever did the teachers suggest that days should be shorter. This is on you. This is on the administration. This will not go away. And community people, if you go out and collect petition signatures like I do, and Sharon Cruz and other people in this room, the people are fed up with this idea. Please, Mrs. Ross, you can do something about this. Thank you.
Good evening, Jeff Adkins, Neutro, 2610 West Barker, West Peoria, Illinois. Question, is it absolutely necessary to cut the school day in order for teacher collaboration to take place? Has every option besides cutting the day been explored and been exhausted? I remember something called Ed Trust we did at the high school level a few years ago that was supposed to streamline teaching. I was pulled out of class and I think sat back here for a day to be trained in how to do that. And we teachers met and collaborated by department during department meetings. Eventually, after a year or so, Ed Trust kind of fizzled out. But my point is, we were able to meet and we were able to collaborate, and we didn't take any time at all from the school day. I fail to understand why it has become so important to cut this time when it's not absolutely necessary to do so. I am for collaboration. I want to do it. I think we should do it. You convinced me that we need to start it this coming year. We should do it at the primary level, middle, high school. but I'm opposed to cutting the school day in order to get that done. I think we can do it without cutting the day. Also, I think more quality time is better than less quality time. If we can meet and collaborate outside of the school day without cutting the school day, we'll have that more quality time, if you understand what I'm saying. As Dr. Gorns pointed out, many of our students enter school at a deficit, and for many students, we teachers, we're all they have. And we need more time, more quality time with them, not less. I'd ask you to consider student improvement days, institute days, faculty meeting days, department meeting days. If you really wanted to gear these days toward teacher collaboration, I sincerely think you can do so, and I hope you do so. Further, I've worn this shirt every time, well, I guess for the past several weeks, and every time I wear it, I take it home and wash it, and I come back and the shirt gets smaller. Actually, my wife was kind enough to swap shirts with me this evening. So to save yourselves the absolute horror of having to see me in a half shirt a week or two down the line, please arrange for this collaboration without cutting the school day. And I do appreciate what Mr. Hinton is saying about teachers being professionals, and that teachers should be able to do this during school day time. In other words, he's saying they're professionals, they should be paid for this collaboration, as opposed to, here's your school day, now during your own time, you need to meet and collaborate. I appreciate that. That said, I think we can use some of the non-student teacher contact time that already exists to get that done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job, John.
There you go.
Hetty Elliott Gardner, 3811 West Pagewood. I'm a teacher at Garfield. I'm a taxpayer. I wasn't planning on speaking tonight, but one thing about this shortened day that has really stuck in my head is the attendance issue. And one attendance issue that I see at Garfield is many of my students don't come on a half day. And I have an attendance issue already on a regular school day, which I do discuss with my principal and my lead teacher. At the end of this school year, I had many students that had over 20 absences, one that had 30, and several that had 10, 15. And I would urge the board to look at the half days to see how many students just simply don't come on the half days. And I want you to table this idea and take a look at that data to see if this would possibly be a problem. I would also, as a parent, I'm a parent, my husband works, my husband is a Peoria firefighter. I'm a working mother. And I know at least one day my daughter had a half day this year. Babysitting was an issue. My daughter went to Grandma. And I am a person that takes education very seriously, but sometimes you don't have an option. And I'm wondering if with every Wednesday, if some parents who do value education are going to run into the same issue with babysitting. 1:30 in the afternoon, 1:45 is a difficult time, and it would be difficult for me, it would be difficult for working parents. If attendance is going to be an issue, I want you to think about that as a board. And I know I have had this discussion with at least one board member back and forth. And, you know, I want to make sure we're looking at all of the issues here. And, you know, being a Southside teacher, that already is a huge issue. But if we're talking once a week, a shortened day, I hope to goodness this isn't going to become an even bigger issue for us. That is one thing that my students do not need, a bigger attendance issue. So I hope that's something that the board will consider. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Sabino Sierra. I live at 1708 South Stanley in the south side. I'm going to die there too.